The United States shutdown has been suspended for 2.5 months, after which the government shutdown saga will resume. On Wednesday evening, the United States House of Representatives voted for the budget bill, which was soon signed by President Donald Trump. Thus, the work of the federal government will resume after a record 43-day break. Interestingly, in the House of Representatives, the bill to end the shutdown received more votes from Democrats than expected, which once again sparked debate within the Democratic Party, as their positions have clearly weakened. In this episode, we will analyze what Congress has passed, how it will affect Americans and others, what the essence of the crisis is, and who lost and who won in the battle between Republicans and Democrats over these last 43 days. My name is Alexei Pichi. Let's discuss this topic together, but before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and write any detailed comment under this episode. Subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pichi News, using the link in this video's description. There we publish breaking news as soon as it comes in. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so with any donation or a paid sponsorship subscription using the links and details in the description of this video. It says, support the Alexei Pichi channel in any format you prefer. I would appreciate your support, thank you. So, the temporary budget to restore the United States government's operations was signed by Trump 2 hours after the bill was supported by 222 members of the House of Representatives, even though only a simple majority was needed for its approval. And here comes some interesting math. In the current composition of the House of Representatives, the Republicans have 219 seats compared to 214 for the Democrats. Let me remind you, there are currently 433 congressmen in the House of Representatives, with 2 seats currently vacant. So a simple majority is 217 votes. However, on Wednesday evening, 4 congressmen were absent from the chamber, 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat. This lowers the threshold needed to pass the budget bill to 215 votes. So the Republicans already had a majority, but there were 6 more Democrats who voted in favor, which raised even more questions. The Democratic Party is clearly in crisis right now. At the same time, 2 members of the Republican Party still voted against it, along with 207 Democrats. That was the factual information. Now let's examine what will change after the shutdown ends. The bill passed, letting the federal government operate for about 2 more months until January 30, 2026. The approved budget bill guarantees that all federal ministries and agencies will resume work, and their funding is secured until the end of January. In addition, this means that the layoffs and furloughs among federal employees caused by the shutdown will come to an end. And for those workers who were furloughed or forced to work without pay because of the shutdown, such as air traffic controllers, in the past their salaries were paid retroactively. Some programs that were put on hold this fall because of the shutdown, including the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Food Assistance Program for low-income individuals, will be funded by the adopted budget bill until the end of the next fiscal year, that is, until the end of September 2026. And if there is a new government shutdown during this period, it will not affect them. International programs that were also suspended will resume. This concerns, for example, the shipment of United States weapons to NATO for Ukraine, so there should be no more delays with this. But what was the essence of this crisis? Why did this shutdown last for 43 days? The House Key Committee approved the budget bill early Wednesday morning after a 7-hour meeting. The Republicans in the committee rejected the Democrats' amendments, which proposed to extend the health insurance subsidies. This was their main demand in the debate over the new budget. The Democrats tried to get some concessions before the vote from the Republicans, but they didn't succeed. It was expected that the House would quickly pass the temporary budget, but the speeches by the congressmen there took almost 2 more hours. And the leader of the Democratic minority in the House of Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries, took advantage of the so-called magic minute, which allows him to speak without any time limit on the eve of the final vote. But in the end, his speech lasted half an hour and was devoted not only to issues of government work. And here the Democrats' problem became apparent. Jeffries urged the Democrats not to vote for the budget bill, but it was in vain. 6 people didn't listen to him. He also expressed disappointment with the actions of certain Democrats in the Senate who supported the Republicans during the vote on the budget bill on Monday evening. The main demand of the Democrats during the shutdown was to include in the bill an extension of tax credits that make health insurance more affordable for 24 million Americans. However, the Republicans remained united and refused to give in, only agreeing to hold a separate vote in December on the issue of extending health insurance subsidies. Sometime in mid-December, but interestingly, the Republicans had made this proposal several weeks ago. Republicans can now confidently claim Democrats were deliberately stalling. In the end, the Democrats accepted what was proposed long ago. At the same time, there's no guarantee that the current measure will be approved by the Senate, and Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson still hasn't confirmed whether he will put the issue of tax breaks to a vote in the lower house. So the question here is, who actually won in this fight? Before the vote on Wednesday, the Speaker of the House swore in the newly elected Congresswoman from Arizona, Adelita Grijalva. She is a Democrat who won the special election in September. Her inauguration was delayed because of the shutdown. When the House was not in session, Grijalva immediately stated that she would sign a petition requiring Speaker of the House Johnson to bring to a vote a bill that would require the United States Department of Justice to release all Epstein files. Trump immediately stated that no Republican should support such actions. As for the shutdown, both parties will come out of the budget crisis with political losses. Sociological polls show that voters blame the Republicans a bit more for the shutdown. At the same time, internal disagreements among the Democrats were somewhat stronger, so both sides are suffering political losses. Passing the budget will allow the government to continue working, but there will be almost no time for a break. After the shutdown ends, Congress will have only 2 months left to prevent another government shutdown, since the current funding provided by the bill, let me remind you, expires on January 30 US. And this is where things get really interesting. Democratic senators were able to trigger a government shutdown, even though they are in the minority in Congress. They issued an ultimatum demanding that the Republicans agree to extend tax credits for health insurance for low-income Americans. And let me remind you that these benefits will expire at the end of 2025. The left wing of the Democratic Party is furious. They feel that their party has given up, surrendered, even though the success in the midterm elections earlier this month showed that the advantage is on the Democrats' side. That's why now the Democrats could cause another shutdown at the end of January, if there really isn't the promised vote on the Obamacare affordable health insurance program in December. And this time, the Democrats will have more arguments. Like, look, we stopped the previous shutdown because we were promised a vote. If there isn't one, well, sorry, then we'll go all the way. But then, as they say, the Democrats will have to take up the pitchforks. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. That's it for now. Take care. Goodbye, everyone.